Alrighty then. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Three in the Key. It's that time of the year. NBA playoffs are starting. Everyone's hype. Real basketball starts getting played right now. Not that fake stuff that we usually see in the beginning of the season. But we got a great episode for you guys today. Talk a little bit about the Houston and the Warriors playoff series. And then, of course, Lakers propaganda. We'll talk about the Lakers and the Timberwolves. They'll play tomorrow. So we'll see how that goes. My name is Grant, and I'm the host that thinks we might see a record number of technical fouls and flagrant fouls in our Houston and Warriors series. Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green, and Dylan Crooks. We might see some fighting on the court every single game, so that would be fun.
That's a good point.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Y'all, I'm Jay. I'm the host that thinks if the Lakers really see Ant as a threat because he's trying to retire LeBron or whatever, they just need to put an attractive young lady in front of him, and that'll distract him to the series.
Hey, it might distract him for 18 years.
Yeah, bro. They got to put a real professional trapper, bro. Professional joint in the front row. Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Kaim, and I'm the host that's smiling again. This has been my favorite time of the year for 15 straight years now, watching Bron in the NBA playoffs, bruh. If you see me over the next 2 months, I will be smiling for joy, bruh. Here we go again. Like that meme. Here we go again.
Dang, only if the Lakers make a deep run.
Well, yeah, once they lose, I get very upset. Once they lose, I have to question if I'm even a Hoops fan for about a week after they lose. Then I catch the end of the finals.
That's funny. All right. So NBA playoffs are here. Coming up this weekend, we have our thoughts, we have our ideas. Let's start off with the Rockets and the Warriors. So, they play this week. I think it's going to be a great series. The Warriors are kind of coming in as a 7th seed team, coming in as a 7th seed, on the upward trend ever since trading for Jimmy Butler. Really getting a lot of wins in those final 20 games. But the Rockets, man, up and coming young team, scrappy defensive team, great coach. They don't have a go-to scorer, but man, they play defense. They lock up on defense, and they scrap for the wins. And they're number 2 in the West. So, what do you guys think?
Go ahead.
I mean, I want to give to the Rockets. They are the higher seed on paper, but we all know the West, like 2 through 8. It's just a fight. It's a fight. Nobody wants to see anybody really. I mean, even OKC, they don't really want to see anyone. Like the West is just going to be a fight.
Yeah.
I think the Rockets are going to make it a good series. I do think that experience might come into play here a little bit. We'll see. But I do think the Rockets have the better coach. That may be a hot take, but I do think they have the better coach. But the Warriors have the better players and their history, talent. Like outside of the youth and like coaching, I think the Warriors got the edge in like every other category.
Yeah, it's a tough one because I've never seen this before where no matter what matchup, no matter what seed you are, it really doesn't matter. It's a dogfight. Like you said, I mean, OKC is probably the only team that feels very comfortable. We're barring anything crazy, we're probably going to the second round. Every other matchup, like 2-7, is supposed to be a slaughter, but you got a team that has Steph Curry and Draymond Green, and then they're struggling in the middle of, through beginning and middle of the year, but they trade for Jimmy Butler. And, Jimmy turned up for the play-in game, kind of showing that playoff Jimmy. I just feel sick for every team, really, but especially the Rockets. I mean, really, the Rockets, the Lakers, 2, 3, 4, the Nuggets, like having to work hard to get the 2 seed to play the Warriors is very upsetting. So I view this as a coin flip. I've gone back and forth so many times who I think is going to win this series, but I think it's a coin flip. I think they have their work cut out for them, and at the end of the day, it's going to be very, 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 very challenging for me to pick against Steph and Curry.
I think you say that like, okay, you work to the 2 seed, you play the Warriors, but who else do you want to play? Do you want to play the Clippers? The Clippers are 18 and 3 in their last 21 games.
Something like that.
Number 1 defense. The Lakers, you want to play LeBron, Luka, and AR? No. I guess at this point, maybe the Nuggets. And I'm scared of Jokic still. So any of those teams you don't want to play. I think, like you guys said, the West is just. I truly think any of those top 7 teams could come out the West. I think
Genuinely,
any of the top 7 teams.
I was just gonna say I actually feel like all the top 7 seeds, to me, surprisingly, because what we're talking about, probably besides the Rockets, no Western Conference Finals series will surprise me in any combination of the 7 teams, bro. Like, could the Clippers make the Western Conference Finals? Yes. The Clippers have been hooping. And if James Harden doesn't choke and Kawhi stays healthy, and those are 2 big ifs. But if those 2 things happen, bruh, you don't want to play James Harden and Kawhi either. And Norman Powell. I feel like this is gonna be great. Oh my goodness. We shall see. We'll see if I think that it's gonna be hard for Steph to guard anybody on Houston. I know that sounds weird because they don't have a lot of scorers, but the thing about Houston is they're fast, they're athletic, they're twitchy. Interesting, like Dylan Brooks, I don't respect him as an offensive player, but he plays with a lot of confidence. He's one of their most confident offensive players. So I think trying to hide Steph is going to be a huge issue for the Warriors. He's a decent defender, but like Amen Thompson, when I watched him, like when I watched the Rockets, even playing the Lakers, who I think the Lakers are better than them, the Rockets look so much faster than when they go. Jalen Green, if he wants to get around you, that first step is insane. Yeah, Amen Thompson is insane, and they're on the trampoline. Ooh wee. I think it's gonna be great.
I think, like you said, Eamon Thompson might be the most athletic person I've ever seen in my life. That might be the most athletic man I've ever seen. Both of them might be the most athletic people I've ever seen in my life. I think I want to gear the conversation towards, in terms of starting 5, what do you see in the matchup? What do you guys see in the starting 5 matchup? Who has the advantage? What do you think? Do you think the Warriors have a better matchup just for this series or just for the Rockets?
And the thing, I personally think they don't, because the Rockets defense is so good. And realistically, I think like we look at the starters of the people that play the most that are going to be facing Steph. Like they can literally switch like everything onto Steph. Like, and it's not going to be easy for them. Like they're all good at defense. They're all extremely athletic. Credit to like Steph and players like Bron and KD, but they are getting older and they are slowing down. So if you're gonna go against like these young guys that have all the energy, they're more athletic than you ever were in Steph's case. Like they're switching everything. That's what I would do. At least like the 2 guards and probably like whoever's playing small forward that game, they can switch everything. And then I think like they're gonna be like it's Draymond Green. Like I don't respect Draymond Green offensively. Sometimes he gets hot, but he's there for passing. He's there for passing, defense, and screens the majority of the time.
But I mean, he's really good at those things.
He is really to his credit, he is really good at those things. But I'm just worried that if they're gonna have to rely on somebody else if the Warriors are gonna have to rely on somebody besides Steph, they're not gonna win.
I do agree. Like, is Pods gonna go crazy?
Maybe once.
Yeah, maybe once. So I feel like the Warriors like to play kind of small. Like the Warriors, I'm actually trying to look up their starters. So they've been starting Moody alongside Steph, Draymond. They've been starting Pods.
Jimmy Butler.
And Jimmy Butler. Okay. Yeah.
Moody.
That sound right?
Buddy Hield?
Bro, I should have came correct.
Hield comes off the bench.
All right. I think it's Butler, Curry, Green, Moody, Pods. Yeah. That's their most used starting line. Surprisingly, because Butler just came, that's their starting lineup that started the most games of any starting lineup for them this year.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem I have with that lineup is that Steph is obviously up here, 11 out of 10 shooter. But then you got Jimmy Butler, who I don't think is a scrub, but he doesn't take a lot of threes. You have Draymond, who the defense is happy if he shoots. You got Moody, who honestly, the defense is probably also happy if he shoots. And then you got Pod. So I think they could run into an issue on offense with Houston being a lockdown defense already. And I watched that playing game. Jimmy Butler was getting some regular season foul calls, bro. I don't know if they're going to be calling that. I'm just going to run into you as fast as I can. And like in the playoffs, I don't know if they're going to give him that whistle. If they do, it's going to change everything because that's hard to stop. Because Jimmy Butler's just gonna put his head down and goddamn flail. I
I don't
didn't realize it because he doesn't do it as ugly as like SGA or even Luka sometimes. Like he doesn't do it ugly,
He takes
but
contact real.
he's actually taking contact, bro. But he's creating that joint. He gets the foul. But I think if Houston can play their bigs, bro, if Houston can keep Şengün out there, Houston plays sometimes he doesn't start, but Steven Adams. I actually think the Warriors are gonna have a really hard time, and I think they're gonna have to shoot their way out of this series, which I think could be a challenge for them. The only reason I still think Houston has a chance, even saying all that, is that I think Houston's gonna have a hard time scoring as well.
Mm-hmm.
They will, but their transition offense is like great. Like we said, how those guys are extremely athletic. Once they get into the open floor, guaranteed bucket like 9 times out of 10.
Mm-hmm. I just like you say that, but I feel like that was the reason they brought in Jimmy Butler. Like they brought in Jimmy Butler for when Steph isn't hitting, when the rest of the team isn't hitting, Jimmy Butler is going to be the reliable scorer. And what else does Jimmy Butler do? He always elevates in the playoffs.
Yeah,
That's what they're hoping.
You know, I respect.
He always comes up, elevates in the playoffs, does his best when it gets the most pressure, and I think that's what the Warriors are hoping for. They're hoping that little push could kind of bring them over the top, at least in this series.
But again, he's another older player. Like we don't talk about it. He's not in the same era as like LeBron and them, but he is also an older player. Like these are players that it's time for the decline to start happening. And so I think maybe it was because he was unhappy with Miami, maybe it was because of the injuries, but we did see a little bit of a decline in the regular season for Jimmy Butler. So if that's what the Warriors are banking on, maybe they know something that we don't, but like I don't see him being like he was the past couple of years, dragging the Heat to the finals.
I was thinking that, but he did put up 37 in the playing game, and
He did.
And honestly, it looked pretty. I didn't even know he had 37. I watched the game and I was like, this man had 40. I think it's because he had a lot at the free throw line. But I just still think it's too many non-shooters, bro. I think they're gonna have to bring Hield on, and it's gonna hurt their defense too much because I think they're crazy on defense with Draymond and Butler. With Draymond and Jimmy Butler, that's tough. Moses Moody's a good defender, but then I feel like you have 3 guys on the court that you're kind of leaning off of.
Yeah.
So you're gonna bring Hield out here, and who's Hield gonna guard? Van Vliet, because Van Vliet, I mean, he's in the background, but that's a good player. That's a good scorer. So I don't know, man. The more I came into this podcast thinking I was definitely gonna take the Warriors because I respect Steph so much, but I'm starting to talk myself more and more into seeing how the Rockets could do this. I just think basketball-wise, it's going to be very hard for the Warriors unless Steph turns back the clock and just averages 36, and there's just nothing you can do.
I don't think that'll happen. I just think they can almost play a boxing one on him because they have so many players to put on them. Even Fred VanVleet, like he's starting, but I wouldn't mind Fred VanVleet on Steph. Like he can do what he can. Like is average defense. Steph's either going to make the shot or he's not. I mean,
do what you can.
Do what you can. Stay in front.
It's hard to stay in front of Steph, though. I will say that because Steph is even moving off the ball.
Yeah,
that boy Steph is one of the best players I've ever seen that consistently gets open every game. Wild.
I think the X factor in the series is going to be Alfred Sengun. I feel like Alfred Sengun could probably 20 and 10. They probably need 20 and 10 from him throughout those series. Maybe 22 and 10. I think the Rockets will win that series pretty easily. It comes down to scoring. It comes down to
Can they score? Can they score?
We might get a Draymond Green injection because he doesn't like those European guys too much.
Over under 0.5 Draymond ejection.
Hey, bro, what's the over under on flagrant and technical fouls, man?
Yeah, flagrant. Yeah, that's a better one. Over under
2.5
the whole series.
I was saying 3.5.
3.5 against all. What about for all players?
Oh, for all players, I was thinking 3.5.
Yeah, I still think I think Draymond is most likely. Like Dylan Brooks could probably get one too. But
Brooks get one.
Honestly, NBA players do not consistently get flagrant fouls, bro. Only goddamn darn near dirty players that happen to be Hall of Fame defenders get away with that type stuff, bro. Because if you're an average player, you just start flagrant fouling people, bro. They send you to purgatory like Grayson Allen. They're like, you thought you could come in here dirty like you were that good?
Grayson Allen gets minutes, man. Stop playing. All right. What's the final recommendation?
Yeah.
What team? How many games?
I feel like. Oh, go
Yeah.
ahead. Sorry, please.
I'm taking Rockets in 6. Rockets in 6. They'll win their home games. They'll still win in Golden State. By that point, nothing they can do. Yeah. I think it's going to be a lit environment. I think, like, since the Rockets haven't been good for a long time, those home games are going to be turned up.
Yeah. What do you think, Jay?
It's just hard to say. I don't want I want to say Rockets in 6 also, but if the lights get too bright, like they haven't been here. Like they just haven't been here before, you know? So like if it comes to like close games, late game situations, I'm taking the Warriors, but I'll go Rockets in 6. I'll respect the Rockets, bro, cuz you know what? I have faith in Ime over faith in that man Steve Kerr.
I do like Ime. You have a little bit more Kerr hate in your heart than I do. You definitely. I respect Kerr as well. I think that's about an even matchup
Oh, I don't think it's even
I don't
matchup.
think
because
it's
I think if you give Ime the Warriors, we're talking contender.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not even counting the 2 Kevin Durant years. I actually take those out. I always take the 2 Kevin Durant years out. I still think the other 2 championships are. I mean, Brett, he won 73 games. Bro, why can't he have the other one?
The other one, bro, the one that they won, it was injured Cavs. Like, yeah, that was a really good squad, and yes, you did make that impact, but healthy Cavs, you weren't winning, bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they did have the super injured Cavs too. Not even a role player. Honestly, guys, I'm gonna go Warriors in 7. Warriors in 7. I was already thinking Warriors. The more I was like looking stuff up and we were talking, I was thinking basketball wise, there's a lot of reasons to pick the Rockets. Namely, they're the 2 seed in a loaded West. Like they've shown they were that good all year. But my respect for Stephen Curry, my respect for Jimmy Butler, and my respect for Draymond Green, and honestly Steve Kerr. When it gets down to it, I think they'll be able to pull it out against a team that might be a little bit better than them. That's so young. That's so young. They might be able to do it off straight superstar power, championship DNA. I do think it'll be close though. So classic series, Warriors in 7.
Classic series. I don't know. Defense travels. The only reason I'm saying Rockets is because if the lights get too bright, they'll still play defense.
That's
So,
true.
so they'll still play defense. No, I think that's good. So Golden State in 7, Rockets in 6 for me and you, Jay.
Yeah. Let's
I
see.
guess we'll see how that goes. Put in
Yeah,
your
let's
prize, man. Put in your prize picks.
see. Yeah, bro. Where's the prize pick sponsorship?
Yeah, put your parlay in. DraftKings. Let's move on to our next series,
Yes,
which is the
sir.
series we've all been waiting for. The Lakers and the Timberwolves. I think this is going to be a great series. I've actually been back and forth on this one a lot. Maybe I've been influenced slightly by Stephen A. Smith and the social media and ESPN, but I'm swinging back and forth. As a Lakers fan,
Yes, sir.
I'm a little nervous. Because I'm an Ant Edwards fan as well, and you want to see Ant Edwards blow up, but you just don't want to see it against your team. What do you guys think about the Lakers and the Timberwolves?
Yeah, I mean, I'll start where you finished because with a guy like Ant Edwards, there's always a chance that he has his moment, bro. Like, there's always a chance that those moments when, like, oh, like young LeBron against the Pistons back in the day, or like, uh, even though they lost, like Jordan scoring 63 against the goddamn Celtics, there's always a chance that somebody proves they're here. And I do think there's a percentage chance that Anthony Edwards can do that. Um, and the Timberwolves present a problem because they're so big. The Timberwolves present a problem because they have so many bigs that are actually rotation players, whereas the Lakers have one average big. So I think it does scare me a little bit. But at the end of the day, I don't know, man. I feel like offensively, I feel like the Timberwolves could run into trouble more when they double team Ant or when they get the ball out of his hands than the Lakers will when they get the ball out of Luka's hands. And so I'm obviously a Lakers fan too. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I'm unbiased at all. But I think the Lakers should hope, given that the Lakers are reasonably healthy, they should be able to take care of this one.
I agree with that. I think that as well. I also think that, unbiasedly, I love Julius Randle, former Laker. I want to see him succeed, but bro doesn't know what to do with the ball in his hands in the playoffs.
Yeah, choke. He's a
Like
playoff.
he's a playoff choker, and that's okay. Like I still love him regardless,
That's okay.
but but I just don't have faith of him showing up. Like Ant could yell at him all he wants, but like if it comes down to it, the second scorer is supposed to be Julius Randle, and then third isn't Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert's for defense, and you know what? Rudy Gobert for defense, it doesn't really matter because the Lakers don't have bigs that are like if we're not throwing that lob at Jackson Hayes, like, I mean,
Yeah.
he's just there to match up. But I think that Julius Randle's a choker. Anthony Edwards will probably get doubled at some point, and at the end of the day, he's gonna have to get the ball out of his hands to somebody like Nas Reed at some point because Julius Randle out on the wing, that's fine. Live and die by that. Live and die by that. I mean,
The question is, can Jaden McDaniels, can Nikhil Alexander-Walker, can Mike Conley, can they shoot you to a win?
I would say, it's very possible for Jaden McDaniels to do it.
Yeah.
Once they ran up against the Mavs, it just looked like they're out of gas. Once they're not shooting well, their offense falls apart immediately.
Yeah. Because if they're not shooting well, you can just load up at Edwards because he's the only one getting downhill.
I think I'm nervous when I look at the starters. So, who's going to guard Ant? Who's going to guard Ant? Probably Vanderbilt?
Bro, Vanderbilt's not starting.
They are, bro.
Yeah, like somebody that's going to get cooked.
And you know what? He can get cooked, but is Anthony Edwards going to be the only one? Like, that's the thing. Like, he can get cooked, bro. Like, help defense exists. If Ant's shooting well, there's nothing you can do.
And I guess, like, AR is guarding Mike Conley.
I mean, so we're starting AR, LeBron, Luka, Jackson Hayes, and Rui.
Maybe it'll be Rui then.
I think I'm looking right now. It says Rui's day to day.
They might have, honestly, real talk. I actually like Rui. He's become a knockdown shooter. I think they might have to start Dorian Finney-Smith and put him on Anthony Edwards.
I think so too.
But then you don't have any offense. Okay, let me not say any offense.
You'll be fine, bro. You got Luka, LeBron, and AR. In DFS, he just needs to stand wide open at the top of the key and knock it down if they leave him open. I do think you're right. One thing I will say in the Timberwolves' favor, I think the Gobert piece, I agree with you, Jay, that he can be he's still a good defender, but he won't be like the devastating defender because we don't have anybody to leave him in the paint. But where I do think is this series could turn into a shootout because I don't think the Lakers are going to be able to play Jared Vanderbilt that much, who would clearly be the best defender, Anthony Edwards. Because if you play Jared Vanderbilt, then the Timberwolves can put Rudy Gobert in and say, yo, leave him and guard the rim.
Yeah.
And that's where he's 4-time Defensive Player of the Year. He's tough to stop at the rim, and that's when you got to hope Luka and LeBron are hitting jumpers. And I think they can do it. I think they'll have games, but I don't like putting my hopes on hoping you hit jumpers unless you're Steph Curry in the playoffs. So I think it's going to be an offensive series, both sides. I don't think Vanderbilt's going to play that much, and I don't think Gobert is going to be like a huge, huge impact defender.
So what kind of production are you looking for from Jackson Hayes then? Is he just going to rim run? Because, I mean, that's where Gobert's strength.
Yeah. Bro, you want him to do a baby hook?
Yeah, like maybe like jumper the whole series.
Dude, I need to get a jump shot, man.
If it's hitting jump shots, it's over.
Yeah. Y'all remember Rudy Gobert hit the bank shot, turnaround bank shot against the Nuggets last year?
And it's like their year. It's their year.
Yeah.
All right, bro. If he's hitting that, if Jackson Hayes gets him an elbow jumper, bro, the Lakers would be a problem. He doesn't have that. He doesn't even have like a drop step, bro. He has a goddamn catch and finish.
Yeah, catch and finish. Don't put the ball down. Don't try to do any moves, bro. Put it up.
Don't do anything.
Put it up or pass it.
No, I think JJ Redick is enamored with small ball, bro. I think he can't stop. He's addicted to it. So I actually think Jackson Hayes is going to start so that you don't hurt his feelings, but he'll probably play like 20 minutes a game, and Dorian Finney-Smith will be in there most of the time.
That's fine.
Which is fine as long as they can rebound. I do think there are scenarios for the Timberwolves to win. I will say that. All the media at first was talking about, oh, Lakers easy, this is great. I'm like, oh, you have to understand something. If the Minnesota Timberwolves get every offensive rebound, it'll be very troubling for the Lakers.
Mhm.
And the Lakers like to turn the ball over. I just
Yeah.
think the first round isn't going to be where that hurts them. I do think if they don't stop turning the ball over, they can't win a chip. But I think they can get in the first round off straight offensive talent.
Mm-hmm. So game plan is get Gobert out the paint and gang rebound.
I mean, yeah. I was just thinking on the flip side, like, who's guarding Luka? Who's guarding Bron? Like, like on the flip side, like, yeah, they have those guys there, and I'll credit all the everybody on the Timberwolves, but Luka did cook them last year. Like he took turns cooking every single one of them.
Yeah.
They do seem to have defenders though. They have McDaniels.
No, they have solid defenders. They just couldn't do anything against Luka specifically.
They now have what's that guy's name? DiVincenzo. Like they have some guys that are good on defense, but yeah, Luka cooked him last year. I feel like Luka's gonna go into this joint ultra confident.
I will also say I am more comfortable with the Timberwolves second unit than the Lakers.
Oh yeah. Because after you get past, I don't really. He's been playing well lately. I gotta admit that. I don't really like the Gabe Vincent minutes, bro. I don't really like him. Now he's been shooting the ball well for like 2 months now.
So I'll have faith, bro.
But the Gabe Vincent numbers, bro, he's small. He's so small, bro.
Yeah, no, the Gabe Vincent's going for bucket, bro.
What'd you say, G?
What's wrong with Gabe, bro? Gabe goes in there and shoots dang near 50% from three.
Gabe goes
in
now shot he can get his hands on, bro.
But at the same time, bro, like Gabe Vincent comes in the game. All right, he gets a three. All right, bro, they're gonna get a couple twos back at least just from blowing by him.
From blowing by him, they're gonna post him up because the Lakers switch everything too. They switch everything, bro. They will give you a mismatch all game. I'd be like, bro, we're really gonna sit here and let Austin Reeves just get cooked all game by the other team's best player. I think they're going to be in trouble. I think the Lakers are genuinely going to say, hey, guys, try your best. Try your best. And because either Luka or Austin is going to, if they start their regular lineup, if they don't make a substitution for DFS, Luka or Austin is going to have to guard Aaron Edwards. And that's not, so it'll definitely be Austin, which that's not good. That's not good at all, bro.
And that's kind of why I was swinging back and forth because I just kept looking at the starting lineups. I'm like, is Austin going to have to take Ant Edwards? Like, is Austin going to be switched on Ant Edwards a lot? And if that happens, I mean, man, Austin, you got to do your best. Yeah. He's not a bad defender, but Ant Edwards is just that good.
But I also don't think it would be the whole game because, like, fourth quarter, Ron will probably step up or, JJ will put in Vando for real to be on him, like, late game situations. Like, I think first 3 quarters, all right, yeah, sure, do your best. But, like, fourth quarter, it will be Ron or it will be Vando. Or Rui. I'll even put Rui.
Even Rui can try. Rui is just goddamn slow, bro.
Yeah, he's just slow. Just stay in front and put your hand up.
He's not that.
How do you feel about Bron? I feel like towards the last part of the season, he has kind of been running out of gas.
He started looking like a real old man. Yeah, he did.
Yeah. And then he the last time we saw him, like nobody's talking about it at all for some weird reason. But literally, the last time we saw him play basketball, he left the game because of a groin tweak, and he did not come back in that game. And then he sat out the last couple games because they didn't matter. So it's like he already was slowing down once he got injured the first time. Now, once he got injured the first time, like against Boston, he was hooping, bro. It was looking good. He got injured. He came back. Never really quite looked the same as before. And then he got a minor injury again that nobody wants to seem to goddamn discuss. I'm nervous. I'm nervous about how Bron will look, bro. I real talk. That's like one of the things in the back of my head that's keeping me from really being chesty. Like Lakers can win the West. Because if I felt confident in Bron, if this was Bron from 3 months ago, I would be like KFC, UFC, NBC, Lakers in 5. Lakers in 5. But this new Bron, I think it's very possible he goes out there, gives you 17 points, gives you 9 assists, 7 rebounds. Be good, but not like superstar. And Luka's gonna have to carry.
I'm okay with that. I am actually 100% okay with that as long as Luka does his job. LeBron is 40, he had to slow down eventually. Those tweets. this bullshit can't go on for 5 years. Right, bro, here we are. Like 10 more years, here we are, bro. Like like we're finally at the point where he's actually slowing down for real.
Yeah,
Like
he's slow.
he changes play style, but now he's like you can even tell when they're watching the games, they throw the lob to him. He's like, why? Like he'll go up and get it still, but he's like, come on, bro. Like,
He's rim grazing now.
yeah.
If I see him rim graze
Talk
off,
about it in practice. I hope they talk about it in practice. They actually need to stop. Austin Reeves specifically, they need to stop.
nah, he's rim grazing. And he's laying the ball up when it used to be a dunk.
Yeah,
He's taking layups, and I'm not gonna lie, he's worked on his layup package a lot.
Yeah.
His layup is pretty reliable, left side, right side, reverse. But I'm like, dang, that used to be a dunk. I'm worried about boy Bron.
Yeah, he needs to tap into the John Stockton era again. Maybe to like 12 times a game. Something crazy like that.
It's just Luka's gonna dribble that goddamn basketball, bro. That's one thing. That's one thing that keeps him from being one of my favorite players. I still think he's one of the best players, but he's going to dribble that basketball repeatedly. And that's just for me, just aesthetically. I'm not talking about how good or bad it is. Aesthetically, I don't love watching that. One guy dribble constantly.
that's what Harden needs to do.
Yeah, that's why it was never my favorite. He was cooking. Harden was leading the league dang near in points and assists, but it's too much dribbling. The problem is with Luka, now that I've watched him for 20 straight games, he's actually good at it. Like, I see why they let him dribble every time. He beats his man unless it's Jaylen Brown, and then either you help or you don't. Like, sometimes they switch the screen, perfect, textbook, good switch, good contest. He's just still going to step back, hit the goddamn three. He's going to hit the three going out of bounds.
Yeah. I'm convinced the dribbling is part of his shooting motion at this point.
It's wild, but he gets in the paint. He takes Luka's the first player I've seen that the man is open. All right, pick and pop. Rui's open at the top. For no reason, he's just gonna keep dribbling towards the rim. Like one dribble, two dribble. He's all the way under the rim. I'm like, bro, you missed the open man. Then all of a sudden, I don't even know what happens from the camera angle. He just whips the ball back out as fast as he can, right on target to Gading Rui. And now he's even more wide open. So I said, you know what? After that happened a few times, I respect you, Luka. I respect you. I respect you.
All right, boys. What's the verdict? Team and games. What do you guys think?
No, give me Lakers in 6, bro.
Yeah. Let me think. Yeah, Lakers in 6. I gotta steal Jays. Lakers in 6, bro. I wanted to say Lakers in 5, like Shannon Sharp, but I actually think Anthony Edwards is good enough to get a game, and I think the role players are good enough to get a game.
Julius Randle will have one good game.
Yeah. And I mean, if the role players shoot well, it's going to be a tough road. And if Luka's not hitting the step back three, it'll also be a very tough road. Unless LeBron,
that's a tell too. That's a tell.
LeBron's not. I mean, LeBron better hit that three if Luka's not. So they could struggle, probably turn the ball over. Lakers in 6, and I think they might get blown out one game. Honestly,
I think Lakers in 5. You said Julius Randle might have a good game.
He'll have at least one.
He will not have a good game.
He'll have a good game when they're getting blown out or something.
Julius Randle has the opportunity to do something no one has ever done before, which is be bad the whole series. So, so I'm guessing Lakers in 5, man. I think the Lakers are just too good of a squad. I think JJ will have them in check, and I've seen a lot of holes in the Timberwolves team. So I think it gets down to the nitty gritty. Luka plays better. Bron plays better. Honestly, Austin Reeves plays better in the playoffs.
Yeah, Austin Reeves is a big game player.
So I think if they play good defense, if they play above average defense, they don't have to play lockdown defense. They play above average defense. I don't think the Timberwolves can stop them on defense. So I think they'll win in 5.
Yeah.
And we'll get one in Minnesota.
One thing to look out for, very sneaky, 10% chance it happens, not very likely. Lakers win their first round series, very sneaky, very unlikely. But the Mavericks upset OKC in their first round series, then it'll be goddamn Lakers, Mavericks, Luka versus Dallas in round 2.
That would be great for ratings, but I fear the league has already invested too much in Shea, so that would.
Yeah, but if Adam Silver is truly pulling strings, that will happen.
If Adam Silver is
pulling strings. But also, the only issue with that is if the Lakers go to the finals and they beat the Mavs, they're gonna be calling the run fake. They're like, oh, the Lakers didn't play the best team.
Oh yeah, no, I don't care about that anymore, boys. I used to back in LeBron's Miami days. I'm like, oh yeah, bring it on. These days, I wanted the Grizzlies. I hope the Rockets beat the Warriors. I hope somebody knocks off the Thunder. And I damn sure don't want to see Boston if they get to the finals, bro.
You don't want to see any of these young to mid-young teams anymore.
Yeah. No, sir. Y'all can keep that, bro. I'm trying to see. Honestly, the Timberwolves, unfortunately, because they're still a great team, were like probably your best bet outside of the Grizzlies.
Yeah.
You want to see the Warriors, bro.
I mean,
the Timberwolves.
The Lakers won't have to see the Thunder till finals, Western Conference Finals, right?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it would be.
They're gonna play, if they win, they're gonna play Rockets Warriors winner.
Dang. None of it's good. Honestly, none of it's good. I don't like any of those.
Yeah. There's no team that you just want to see. I think they're cheering for the Rockets though. Honestly.
Yeah.
Just because Steph has that kind of mental edge, like I beat LeBron a lot of times in the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, if you guys haven't noticed, we didn't talk anything about the East, and that's because we know what's going to happen.
Yeah. The only interesting series to me, well, the Knicks and Pistons should be all right, and then Bucks Pacers. Now they're claiming Dame has healed from blood clots faster than any man alive. Bro, that's a 6-month goddamn injury. That's injury. That's a sickness.
It's like that propaganda that Trump had his first time around. He's like, yeah, like the doctors said they had never seen a body recover like mine before from COVID.
Yeah, bro. Like you're telling me Wembanyama, who's 20 years old, is out for the entire year. They said, yo, he might start for game 1 next year. But Damian Lillard, who's 35 years old, he's like, forget the blood clots. I hope he's not putting his life on the line, bro.
Yeah, they injected him with something.
Yeah, they might have gave him that stuff, bro. They might have given him that Bobby Portis. They just got Bobby Portis back. They might have got
No, I agree. All those series are already decided. Top 4 seeds will probably win in the East. So.
I also just expect to see like Boston in the conference finals minimum. So.
Yeah. Boston, Cleveland probably.
Yeah.
So that's how it goes.
Even though shout out the Hawks tonight in the play-in, let's get that 8 seed.
The Hawks and Bulls always in the play-in, bro. Moves, bro.
And the Heat, honestly, they just went to the finals from it.
And the Heat because they had Jimmy Butler, but
they love the play, bro. The Hawks seem like they'd be like, "Yo, do you want to be good? Nah, we'll be in the play-in. Oh, dang, well then let's just be bad. Nah. We'll just take the play-in, bro. Like it seems like they're trying to get in the play-in. That's what they prefer.
If the play-in was the NBA championship, the Hawks would have 3 or 4.
DeMar DeRozan will have 3 or 4.
Yeah, DeMar DeRozan would be in that play.
All right. Well, that wraps up this episode of 3 in the Key. We hope you had a good time. Dang near. You can see us on all your podcasting spots, Spotify app, every single thing, Amazon. And it's good to see y'all. Peace out.